the match gets underway here in the mother town of the Potteries in Burslem. Port Vale defending the goal to my right, and immediately Nathan Smith just being tested in that right back position in the Vale right channel, but does well, puts in a sliding block, and the ball goes out of play for a Colchester throw over on the far side of the field. Will Stanley says 1-1, but if we keep them down our left we might just nick it 2-1. Lots of other positive predictions as well coming in this afternoon. We'll find out if you're right. Stay with us. Matt Sandals and Chris Birchall on BBC Radio Stoke Digital Radio this afternoon. Your number one station for sport, as Nathan Smith does well and blocks Colchester's route through down the Vale right once more. A bit scrappy though for Vale, trying to hold it up in the Colchester half, and then there's a challenge from Tom Conlon on the edge of the centre circle, and it's a foul and a free kick to the visitors. Not many Colchester supporters, as you'd imagine, because I would have thought that there would have been quite a few that think, well, I'm not going to leave, because if we leave at 8 o'clock in the morning and when we get almost there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and there's a pitch inspection and it's called off, we've wasted a journey. So there'll be quite a few that would have decided to perhaps to stay at home and keep an eye on it through social media or other means. As the ball is played over the top for Rhys Brown to chase, I'm not sure he's going to keep this in. He has done, has he? He's slipped, he's recovered, he's done well there. Even he looked to the referee to think that ball gone out, you allow me to play on, and the referee says yes. Here's Burgess back to Brisley, just inside the Vale half. Long ball from him, straight forward is to a blue shirt and cut out and cleared by Colchester. Back to Brisley, and Brisley just lets that run over the top of his head and go through to Scott Brown in the Port Vale goal. We've had very grey, white, horrible skies around, which look like snow clouds, brightening up a little bit away to our right, but the rain has been pretty persistent for the last 25 minutes to half an hour or so, as David Worrell gets his first touch over on the far touchline. Comes in field, left foot cross, deep towards the edge of the penalty area. Rhys Brown the target, but headed away by the Colchester defence, and Montano just shields the ball to safety and out for a throw in, which he takes quickly and finds Burgess on the halfway line. A little touch from him on his thigh, gets it away, and brings in Brisley on this near side. Again looks up. No nonsense football from Sean Brisley, but that's going to be a difficult ball to play for Mark Cullen if he's going to play a ball straight down the centre. It's not his strength. He's flicked it on, but there's no one there. Yeah, especially when he's got Luke Prosser behind him. Not going to give him anything, and any kind of flick on is just going to go through to the keeper. So they have to get round Cullen today, because we've seen in the past he can hold it up quite well for a little lad. Ben Stevenson draws the foul there from Luke Joyce, and it's a free kick to Colchester, about 10 yards inside the Vale half, right of centre. Floodlights are on here. John Askey on the edge of his technical area. John McCreel, the Colchester manager, approaching 200 games in charge, as the visitors take a short free kick to this near touchline, intercepted by Brown and out for a throw-in. So rather wasted chance there for Colchester to launch the ball and put some pressure on the Vale inside their own penalty. You'd think in these sort of conditions you just hit a ball from a free kick into the penalty area, wouldn't you? You know, just see what anything can happen. A goalkeeper can spill it, a defender can slip. You just got to get it into the danger zone, surely, in this sort of weather. Yeah, we were saying before the game, weren't we, that there's going to be goals today. You'll probably feel it'll come from a mistake from someone, probably the goalkeepers or from a set piece, really. But been quite of a stable start for both teams, hasn't it? No one's really gone for it. We haven't seen the kind of high press from Vale. It's just been Colchester keeping possession, really. Well, the Colchester goalkeeper Dean Gherkin just playing the ball out from the back, and then receives it and clears long up towards the halfway line as a crisp packet blows around Montano as he heads that ball forward. Rhys Brown in a real tight spot on this touchline, heads it back to Montano, who drives the ball forward again in the air to Mark Cullen, who just watches it soar over his head, looks to his left and sees the Colchester defence and Luke Prosser collect the ball comfortably. Easy defending for the visiting team here, as Scott Burgess now has it on the halfway line, constantly having his ankles nibbled at by Harry Pell, and the referee with a sharp toot on the whistle blows it for a free kick to Port Vale right on the halfway line in front of John Askey. We've played 5 minutes, it's 0-0 on BBC Radio Stoke. Keep you up to date with goals in our other featured games as well this afternoon. Nothing to tell you about as of yet, with Crewe away down at Plymouth, looking to go top of the table today in that division, with Swindon's match postponed as the ball goes up in the air and gathered by Gherkin. So yeah, Crewe could take advantage of Swindon's postponement. 0-0 though, 0-0 between QPR and Stoke, 0-0 here between Port Vale and Colchester on BBC Radio Stoke. Ball played forward by the visitors and it's headed away by Smith. Receives it back from Joyce into the feet of Conlon. All just sort of unable to really be under full control by Port Vale. Skidding around. Come on Vale is the shout from the railway paddock on the far side. It's just starting to get a little bit brighter, Chris Birchall. We'll take that. Good wispy clouds around though, but the rain's still causing one or two problems. I'm sure a few visibility problems as well. The surface will be certainly quick out on the Vale Park pitch as the ball is gathered by Montano. Moves it out to this touchline with his left foot. Second touch is cleared. Cullen heads it infield towards the edge of the centre circle. Conlon back to Cullen. Nice football by Port Vale. Then Conlon couldn't quite release Brown on this near touchline and Colchester get it clear. But Vale just doing a bit of defending here. Leon Legg using his strength well just to roll Theo Robertson out of the way. And Scott Brown has a comfortable gather on the edge of his penalty area. 0-0, but your thoughts on this first 6 minutes of the match, Chris?
Even Stevens really, hasn't it? Colchester came out and they were comfortable. There was no real pressure from either team. It was just, let's see what you've got. And now Vale are having the majority of the possession, but I feel today it's going to be really important that Conlon and Cullen get that kind of relationship and the passes, because Conlon on the ball is brilliant. I love his crisp passing.
Here's Worrell by the corner flag, right hand side, deep cross over the heads of everybody. Conlon's trying to get there late and unable to do so. Wigan have taken the lead away at Cardiff, and Burton Albion are leading at Ipswich by a goal to 0. Vale have the ball with Joyce inside the Vale half. Back to Brisley to Brown, around the penalty spot sort of area, lets it run. Out to the right to Leon Legg. We are starting to see, we're getting our first glimpses of the sunshine here. This is unprecedented. Storm Dennis giving us all a bit of a break, and the rain easing as well as the ball is out over on the far side. Throw in for Port Vale on the halfway line. Nathan Smith will take it. BBC Radio Stoke Sport, Matt Sandoz and Chris Birchall, your commentary team. Don't forget, we'll have reaction from your manager, whatever the result will be this afternoon, and you can have your thoughts as well in Praise and Grumble with Lee Blakeman on the full-time whistle. 0800 121 8080. Throw in taken, Worrell picks it up, edge of the centre circle, comes forward, urged to shoot from the Vale supporters as he had plenty of time and space, wasn't closed down at all. Montano now drives forward, skipping past 1, 2, on his own, shoots, good save by the goalkeeper. Dean Gherkin carries it out to his right and Vale get a corner, but Christian Montano saw the gap, went for it and forced a fine save.
Yeah, we see it so many times from left backs, don't we? They cut inside and no one comes to them, so they carry on, and he great quick feet past two defenders. He found himself on the edge of the box and given a right whack towards the bottom corner. It was a good save, but he saw Worrell do it 10 seconds earlier and thought, why not, I can do it as well. Great play really.
Best bit of play, best chance of the game. Christian Montano in the 9th minute, forcing a good save from the goalkeeper. Corner for the Vale, first of the match, and it is on the Vale left. It's Worrell that's going to take it. He just chips that in towards the near post. It's headed away by a blue shirt, and Joyce tries to strike it on the volley towards goal, and the referee has called play back for a free kick. Not quite sure what he's seen there, but he'd seen some sort of infringement, and Colchester have a free kick on the edge of their D. 0-0, but that will give the Vale a real put a spring in their step, having that opportunity, that corner, and just putting a little bit of pressure on Colchester.
Yeah, well, and especially the team that he's picked today, Askey. He's got players like Montano and Worrell who just love to go at players, don't they? They're not boring, they like to be old-fashioned and take defenders on. It's good to watch.
It really has just given Port Vale a bit of an injection of confidence, that Montano run and shot, because they now start trying to get the ball down, and they've had the lion's share of possession in the last few minutes. Colchester look a little rattled. Vale have got a throw in on the far side of the field, about 20 yards or so inside the Colchester half, in front of the railway paddock. Cullen drops deep. He's on the halfway line here. It's not where John Askey will want him to be. He's got it here with his orange boots and switches the play out to the left, looking for Brown. Header away though at the back by Jackson, and Vale will start again. Conlon picks up the loose ball and back to Brisley. Brisley across the edge of the centre circle to Leon Legg, and Leon Legg will have an opportunity here just to try and get it clear, but he doesn't. He finds Nathan Smith on the far touchline, who delivers a high ball for Cullen. He can't get there again, and it rolls through to Gherkin in the Colchester goal. Cardiff have got an equaliser at home to Wigan. Cardiff 1, Wigan 1. Here's Stevenson, the number 24 for Colchester. Vale looking to extend their unbeaten league run to 5 games after securing back-to-back away wins at Northampton and Forest Green Rovers. If that is not a confidence boost, I don't know what is. 2 away wins on the trot, Chris. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're 2 tough places to go as well, and they've done brilliant, especially on a Tuesday night at Forest Green. Credit to them. But it's these games that you expect them to get something out of. That we hope that they do, because they've done the hard work away from home.
Cullen with a fantastic ball for Brown. He's heading towards the penalty area, and you have to give credit to Ryan Jackson, the fullback there, for managing to recover and take it away from him, put it out for a corner. Vale's second corner of the match.
Yeah, great play from Reece Brown. He's played the 1-2 and carried on. He's found himself kind of not one-on-one, but having to make Jackson make the tackle, or else he was one-on-one with the keeper, and Jackson did well, really. He's got pace and he got back.
Finished earlier on in the Premier League, Southampton 1, Burnley 2, and in the Championship, West Brom 2, Nottingham Forest 2. We wait for this corner to be delivered. The corner flag really flapping furiously next to David Worrell, who takes a free quick very low into the feet of Colin. Colin with a shot, side netting. Goalkeeper points to the goal for a goal kick. Some of the Port Vale fans thought it had gone in. I'm sure it looked like it had done from over on the railway paddock side of the ground, because Conlon, very quick to react, got his shot away under pressure, not too far away from the post, hit the side netting, but Vale are the one that's starting to ask questions here.
Yeah, they are. I think it was a training ground routine. That Worrell quickly fired it into the edge of the box to Conlon. He's got such a great touch, hasn't he, on that left foot. Touch out of his feet and hit the side netting. Really good play.
Macclesfield 0, Exeter City 1. Mickey Jose in the 11th minute giving Exeter the lead at the Moss Road. 0-0 here, throw into Colchester on the halfway line in front of the Lawn Street. Ball headed forward by Theo Robinson, former Port Vale striker, who is in good form. He's scored against Grimsby in midweek in the defeat there, 3-2 Colchester lost, but he has hit the net 5 times in his last 4 games. So certainly a player that, given a chance, he will punish you. So Vale are going to have to keep a very close eye on him this afternoon. 0-0 at the moment though, and Vale are the team that are looking the more likely to score after 13 minutes. On BBC Radio Stoke Sport, Matt Sandals and Chris Birchall as the ball is hit long, and Mark Cullen again, not to his strength in the air, unable to deal with that, and it's cleared, but then overplayed at the back, and Reece Brown has picked the pocket of Ryan Jackson, and he's found Conlon on the edge of the penalty area. He's twisting, he's turning, he's going to pull the trigger, and he has scored! And it is exactly what Port Vale and Tom Conlon deserve. 14 minutes on the clock, and Port Vale's pressure has paid off. Those playoffs are looking better and better, and closer and closer. Port Vale 1, Colchester 0.
Yeah, that was the high press really from Conlon and Reece Brown. Reece Brown won it from Jackson, and it was just 2 against 1, and Reece Brown played Conlon inside the box. He's just checked back onto his left foot. Fabulous play from Conlon. He's been the best player on the pitch. He's fired it near post. It was too fast and too hard for Gherkin, and it went firing into the back of the net. 1-0, fully deserved. Conlon's been brilliant.
Well, Vale in the last 7 or 8 minutes have been on top, and when you're on top you've got to score. They've done exactly that. John Askey will be delighted with his team's response to this start of this game.
Yeah, he will be, because how many times have we seen Vale play well and come out in the first half an hour and not score, and they've kind of paid the price in recent months, but today they put the emphasis on Colchester now. Vale are 1-0 up at home, they've got to come out and play.
1-0 as John Askey just talks to Christian Montano on the edge of the technical area down below. As I said, the sun was coming out, there was a break in the clouds. It was like there was a divine intervention looking down from above as Port Vale take the lead. Here's Reece Brown, and give credit as well to Reece Brown. He started this game extremely well, high energy from him, and well, if he can carry on in this sort of form this afternoon, he could well be a contender already for man of the match alongside Tom Conlon, who put the ball in the back of the net in the 14th minute to make it 1-0. Throw in for Vale on the far side, level with the edge of the Colchester penalty area. Here's Worrell, back in field, lovely football by Port Vale. Smith to the right to Burgess, cross from him. Not a great cross in the end from Scott Burgess. But Vale have got their tails up at the moment. Port Vale up to 5th in the table as things stand. We don't want to get ourselves too excited about that at the moment, Chris. You know,
no, it's a live table, isn't it? But I mean, that's all you can ask for, really, on a great run of form, coming up against another top 5 team without your best players, and they just keep rolling on, don't they?
Well, it's always those teams that sort of make a late dash into the playoffs who've got that momentum behind them and tend to go on and do well, and that's what Vale are doing at the moment. Luke Joyce has just brought down Ben Stevenson, and he's going to have a word as well, the referee here, the referee Lee Doherty, this afternoon, and he's going to get a yellow card here for the first challenge, and he had a bit of work to do there, Ben Stevenson. It wasn't like he was through on goal. I think that's a very soft yellow from the referee to give to Luke Joyce, and now that just...
harsh, isn't it?
It is a harsh yellow. He's on a bit of a tightrope now for the rest of the match.
I think everyone in the stadium's just thinking, looking at the clock all at the same time, thinking 16 minutes gone, and it's his first foul, and he's given a yellow card.
He's put a marker down, hasn't he? Now
yeah, he has. I mean, okay, he was on a break really, but still, what, 40 yards out.
Well, Colchester are going to take this free kick midway inside the Vale half, right of centre. Cohen Bramall's going to take this, left back, but he switches it out to the right to Courtney Senior. Senior twists, turns, dances past Brown and can't get past David Worrell, and they get their first corner. They line up like this: Gherkin in goal, Jackson, Eastman, Prosser and Bramall the back 4, 2 holding midfielders of Pell and Comley, then 3 midfielders, the Senior, Stevenson, Nouvel and the striker Robinson. That is the Colchester lineup as they have their first corner at the Vale. I'll run through that starting 11 again for you in just a moment as the corner comes in towards the near post. It's Cullen that heads it away, and it'll be picked up by Burgess. Burgess tells Brown to leave it and go, and Burgess just tries to feed the ball for Brown, who'd made a run down the touchline, but Comley had slid in and got in a block, a timely block, a needed block as well for Colchester, because Port Vale were away there. Scott Brown in goal, Smith, Legg, Brisley, Montano the back 4, Joyce, Burgess and Conlon in midfield with Brown, Cullen and Worrell the front 3, and Vale are confidently stroking it around, but Montano just got away with one there as Brown finds Worrell. Worrell slips, Worrell's all over the place. It's like dancing on ice out there, Chris Birchall, minus the sequins.
Bambi on ice.
Colchester have it, no danger though, as the slip from Worrell doesn't really worry Port Vale, as Colchester have it at the back, play a ball through, and Scott Brown, big shout from him, says leave it to his defence, and gathers the ball and bowls it out underarm. Leeds United 1, Bristol 0, Fleetwood 1, Peterborough 0, Birmingham 1, Brentford 0, and again just guilty there of giving the ball away, Port Vale. And here comes Jackson into the penalty area, cuts it back, Brisley manages just to recover, puts in the block, and Colchester get their second corner. So 2 corners each. They'll lead by a goal to 0 on BBC Radio Stoke. Tom Conlon in the 14th minute, we played 18 and a half. So they're just going to have to, again, just keep their concentration. It's these sort of set pieces in these conditions that will cause problems. Well, thankfully though, for Scott Brown, that the rain has stopped. Still very breezy though, but the rain will not be getting in his face as he comes to try and gather this ball. He can't get through a crowded area as the corner's whipped in. It comes off Brisley and out for another corner. Referee, well, Brisley thought he was being held and impeded from being able to jump and challenge for the ball and being pushed down, so it just came off the top of his head and out for another corner, this time on the Colchester left, and it'll be Cohen Bramall that will go and take it, the number 3. It's going to be an out swinger with his left boot. And it comes now. Not a great delivery that towards the penalty spot. It hits Conlon and it falls down in front of him, and he just clears it up towards the halfway line though. Smashed forward by Colchester once more. Burgess having to do a bit of defending by the corner flag. He just watches it out. He's side down on the far side. Now, that was an unnecessary challenge really by, I think it was Bramall over on the far side. And he didn't get no word from the referee. But it's going to be interesting to see what the referee does here, because he's booked Luke Joyce for the first challenge that Luke Joyce has made here, and it wasn't a goal scoring position. It was midway inside the Vale half. He still had to hold the fence to get through. The referee, if he's deemed it a cynical challenge, fair enough, but now we'll see what he does with the rest of the decisions he's got to make. This 20 minutes gone, 1-0 to Port Vale on BBC Radio Stoke. As Eastman having to defend in the Colchester right channel, clears long down the centre. Leon Legg heads it down. Nathan Smith is there. That's a good bit of communication between those two. There's almost like they know each other really inside out, having played at centre half together for the majority of the season. They know each other's games, and Smith would know exactly where he needed to be there when Legg was having to deal with that situation. Out on the right now with Senior, blocked by Brown and Montano. Brown having a good start to this game, and we said flips the ball forward to Cullen. Cullen plays it forward on 1-2. Brown's going here. Can he go into the penalty area? He needs some support. Worrell's around there, the penalty spot, still with Brown. Man in front of him. Brown into Montano, just behind him. And I think in the end Brown got a little caught up and wasn't quite sure what he was going to do. A bit indecisive there. I
think that's exactly what it was, Matt. I think he did brilliantly, didn't he, from the halfway line all the way up to the 18-yard box. Another 1-2 in behind, following his run. But once he gets there, it's like he looks up and he just doesn't know what to do, doesn't know if to take his man on. He feels like he probably hasn't got the confidence to get past him. But up until then, it's been some really, really good play.
Yeah, when the ball has been played to Cullen in his feet and his chest, he's done well. He's held it up, but you know, over the top of his head, it's not going to be good use to anybody. He's here again, Cullen, holding it nicely, brings in Joyce. Joyce out to the right to Smith. He's got Worrell in support out on the right touchline, uses him. Worrell waits for some help, back to Smith. Smith with a high ball. Joyce had made a run, headed away from him though by Colchester. Worrell lets it bounce for a throw, takes it quickly to Joyce, who's down by the corner flag in front of the railway paddock. Back to Worrell, 1-0 to the Vale. Worrell with the cross. Cullen's waiting for it. So is Prosser at the heart of the Colchester defence. Falls to Brown on the edge of the penalty area on this left side. Puts in a cross. Cleared again by Colchester. Montano though wins it back on this near side. Waits for some support, gets it from the goal scorer Conlon. Conlon flicks the ball in towards the penalty area. Brown holds it up, brings in Montano, who curls one, and it's just a few inches wide on the top left-hand corner, and he puts his head in his hands. He can't quite believe it. I can't quite believe it. Should have been 2-0.
It's really refreshing to watch that Vale are so good on the ball. When they get it down and pass it and play football, there's only one team in it really, but they've got to take the chances. I mean, that was a great little 1-2. Ball set back to Conlon, played it round the corner into the front man, and then Montano made the run off him, tried to first time whip it into the top right hand corner, not far off at all.
Colchester are vulnerable, they are there for the taking, and Vale, and I think as what we hit 23 minutes of this first half, I can guarantee John Askey will be in that technical area thinking we need to get 2-0 up as quickly as we possibly can here, because then I think Colchester will crumble.
I think they will, because if they don't get the second, they're very, very likely to get some kind of a chance off a set piece, because looking at the players, they're all 6 foot. I mean, Powell in the centre of the field, he dwarfs Montano and dwarfs every Vale player there, even Leon Legg, so he must be a good 6'4".
Yeah, he's huge, isn't he? He's on the ball now, the number 8. Good challenge by Scott Burgess, sliding challenge. As the ball though is recovered by Comley for Colchester. The referee has blown his whistle, I think, for a foul by possibly Conlon. It's a free kick for Colchester United inside their own half, but 1-0. And just looking around the Lawn Street, there's very happy Port Vale supporters, and so they should be. I'm sure the manager is absolutely delighted, but he's going to want his team to capitalise on this, not allow Colchester back into it. Here's Stevenson out to the right to Senior, angle of the penalty area, puts in a cross, blocked by Montano. Really does well getting tight to his man there. Christian Montano really has come on as a left wing back, as he's here now trying to defend. Little nudge in the back of the Colchester Frank Noodle there, and he's really trying to win the ball back here, Montano, and he's shown a little bit too much enthusiasm. And is he going to? I thought he was going to get a yellow card. The referee getting the van. Jack, he had a shot inside the first 9 minutes, which the goalkeeper saved. Then he's just had one just narrowly go over the top left-hand corner, and now he's down at the other end defending for his. He's putting in a shift already.
Yeah, he is. He always puts in a shift, doesn't he? But sometimes it can be in silly fouls. He's very clever there. Ball coming in now.
Deep one towards the back post, looking for Pell, who Chris Birchall just mentioned will be an aerial threat with his size. He did get above Leon Legg, but Leon Legg just around enough to cause a distraction for Pell's header to go comfortably high and wide and out for a goal kick. 25 minutes gone. It is 1-0 to Port Vale on BBC Radio. Stoke Walsall 0, Northampton 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Reading 1. Scores elsewhere. 0-0 in our other featured games this afternoon. Crewe away at Plymouth on 1503 medium wave. Graham McGarry and Peter Morsey commentary team at Home Park, and at Loftus Road, Lee Blakeman, Terry Conroy and Nigel Johnson following Stoke City away at QPR. Good news though for Port Vale, as Scott Brown takes a goal kick. You can see the ball just spin away as it heads towards the halfway line, causing a bit of a problem there for the goal kick. Just headed straight out to touch in front of John Askey, and Colchester have a throw. They go back with Jackson, and they're trying to play it out from the back here. Eastman getting involved. Prosser missing the ball, but Colchester will recover the ball and get it clear. Former Port Vale trainee Luke Prosser played over 30 times for Port Vale, as Vale have it with Worrell on the halfway line. Ball just released from him, and Conlon stretches to try and keep the ball alive. Finds blue shirt though. Colchester try and get it down on the ground. Ball is blocked, and Joyce picks up the second ball. It's left by Brown to Cullen. Nice play by Brown, just a little bit behind Cullen, but Vale have still got possession of the football. Brown by the corner flag on the left. He's going to take on Jackson here. What's he got in his locker? Puts it across towards the back post. Not a bad delivery that from Reece Brown, and Colchester get it away. And well, here's Nouvel, who is stopped in his tracks by Montano, and the roar of the crowd will tell you there just what good defending that was, because he wasn't outwitted, he wasn't foxed by the fancy step overs from Frank Nouvel. It was good, just solid defending from Montano. Yeah,
and played a good ball after that as well. Sometimes you see Montano do all the hard work, win the tackles, and then give a poor ball, but he's done really well. And the first touch every single time from Conlon is first class, much higher than League 2 level.
Joyce into the penalty with a cross now in towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Colchester. Montano stretching again to try and put in the tackle, as Reece Brown now is putting pressure on Ryan Jackson in that right back position, and Colchester coming across the halfway line. Brisley just going to have to do a bit of defending here and puts it out. No real troubles for him, as it's a throw for Colchester. Stoke have taken the lead at QPR. Sam Clucas, I think his 8th goal of the season, giving Michael O'Neill's team the lead. 1-0 to Port Vale here on BBC Radio Stoke. Conlon in the 14th minute. Montano tested the goalkeeper in the 9th. Had one just whisker over the crossbar around about 5 or 6 minutes ago. Could have easily made it 2-0. Vale good value for their lead here this afternoon on DAB Digital Radio. Ball into the box, drops down at the far post. It's had to be scrambled clear by Worrell, and it's out for a Colchester corner there. 4. So 4 corners for Colchester, 2 for Port Vale, but Vale lead by a goal to 0, and Vale the better of the two sides in terms of how the game is being played out. But it only takes a moment, it only takes a lack of concentration from set pieces like this, as the ball is whipped in, headed away by Cullen. I think that's the second corner he's headed away at that near post, so doing his defensive work well, as Colchester work their way to the penalty area. Ball across the 6-yard box, cleared off the line once and twice by Leon Legg. And well, Harry Pell can't quite believe it, because ball came to him 10 yards out and he hit it first time, and Leon Legg, right place, right time. It's cleared, and I think it's another corner for Colchester.
Yeah, it was good reactions from Leon Legg on the line. I think Nathan Smith got done down the line and a cross coming into the box, but that's the only way that you can see Colchester scoring at the moment, a ball into the box, because I mean, centrally they look really solid, but when Colchester go out wide or put balls into the box, they look a bit shaky. But really good defending from Leon Legg.
Ipswich 1, Burton Albion 1. Fulham, who are flying at the top of the Championship, looking to try and get promotion straight away back to the Premier League, are trailing to Barnsley by a goal to nil. In comes the corner. It's a real in-swinger. The wind had something to do with it. Held it up enough for Scott Brown to pull it out of the air, and he bowls it out underarm out to the right for Worrell, and now Vale are going forward with a bit of pace. Worrell has not been even closed down yet. Now he is by two blue shirts. Plays an infield ball for Burgess. Burgess turns, does well, switches it out to Montano. He wants some support. Cullen out wide left, should really be in the penalty area here, and well, Montano has lost possession, and Colchester United push and run, and Brisley puts an arm across Newell. Leon Lake's going to get there though, and I think the referee's going to pull play back, and to be fair, quite rightly, because Newell
probably get a yellow as well.
Yeah, Newell was being held back there. He got away, and the referee was going to wave play on, but the advantage wasn't there because it allowed Leon Lake to come across and clear. So free kick for Colchester on this near touchline. Stoke have gone 2-0 up away at QPR. Tyrese Campbell with the goal there at Loftus Road. A good start for Stoke. And is he going to get a yellow card here, Sean Brisley? He's been called over by the referee.
Well, it was a more cynical foul than the previous yellow card that Joyce got, so surely he will.
Yeah, I agree. If he's going to be consistent here with what he's been doing with his decisions, he's got to give him a yellow card. I know the Vale crowd don't like it, I don't particularly like it, but if he's going to be consistent, that's what he's got to do, and that's what he's done. So it's when it comes down to the decisions to what he's going to do for the Colchester players is when the Vale supporters will probably be a little bit more in agreement with the referee. Adrian's 2-0 up now against Clyde. Say that because there's a vested interest in that for us this afternoon. As in comes the cross, headed away by Conlon. Good diving header that actually by Tom Conlon, because that free kick was taken rather quickly and he was trying to catch Vale napping, and Colchester got their 6th corner. They've had a lot of corners here, a lot of pressure, as Salford have taken the lead away at Stevenage, and Wimbledon are 1-0 up as well away at Rotherham, and Blackburn lead Charlton by a goal to nil, as Vale again just have to stay switched on for this set piece. It's coming to the near post. Scott Brown was having to scramble back to his near post because again the wind holding that ball up, swinging it in, catching everybody out a little bit. He was in a real crowded area, so had to scurry across and punch it away for corner number 7 for Colchester. Vale 1-0 up here on BBC Radio Stoke. 32.5 minutes of the first half gone. In comes the corner again, header at the far post from Peel, and acrobatics force the corner. Well, there's a high kick is what the Vale defenders are saying on Luke Joyce, but the referee says he stuck his head in where it hurts Luke Joyce, and it's taken a deflection, and it's another corner for Colchester. Vale are weathering not just storm Dennis, but the storm of Colchester's set pieces here, as this one is a little deeper. Pushed out to Stevenson. Stevenson now delivers a ball back into the box, and it's a left by Brisley and out for a goal kick, but they have weathered a bit of pressure there.
Yeah, you've got to be careful, haven't they? Because like I said, the only way they're going to score is from a set piece, and they've had 7 now, I think. 6 or 7 corners. 8 corners in the first half. But defended them well. I mean, apart from the last one was a really good chance. You'd say the 2 centre-backs, Brisley and Leon Legg, and Nathan Smith, have kind of marked up really well, but you feel like it's only a matter of time.
Goal kick again from Scott Brown. It goes up in the air. It looks like it just hits an invisible wall by the halfway line and drops straight down and comes back into the Vale half. Slipped by Worrell on the far side. I don't think it matters how long your studs are today. It's going to be slippy out there given the amount of rain that we've had. Matt Sandoz and Chris Birchall on BBC Radio Stoke. QPR have got a goal back. So plenty of action at Loftus Road in the first half. QPR 1, Stoke City 2. As Newell tries to keep the ball in play and can't. Goal kick for Port Vale. And Vale lead by a goal to nil with just over 10 minutes to go until half time. Well, the key thing is here, Vale have been on top for the majority of the match, but they have had to deal with a lot of pressure from Colchester corners. The key thing now is certainly do not concede at this stage before half time.
Yeah, especially against a team like this who can then, if they do, go on and bring confidence into the second half. But Vale have done well. I mean, at some point when you're playing against Colchester, you know you're going to be up against it. They've dealt with it really. I mean, apart from giving so many corners away, you wouldn't say that Colchester have had any threat on Vale's goal whatsoever, it'd be Vale who should be 2 or 3 up.
Absolutely, they've had the chances to be 2 or 3 up. As Conlon comes to this near side to put some pressure on Jackson. He continues his run, just Jackson, but he's not used as Colchester switch the ball from the right to the left. They're on the halfway line now with Conley to Pell, back to Eastman, to Jackson. Better football by Colchester, trying to get it down, but that's a really good interception by Conlon. And now here's Cullen, edge of the penalty area, pulls the trigger, and it was rising over the crossbar, but you don't mind that from a striker who didn't have much in front of him. Burgess was making a late run, but as you're a striker, you're always going to fancy your chances. You're always going to have a go from there. Yeah,
you could tell. He was, from the moment he picked it up from about 35 yards out, he just tried to dribble it. You knew he was going to shoot. He did. He connected with it really well, but just too high. But came out of nothing. Came out of really good pressure again from Vale up the top, and like you say, just keep it for another 10 minutes until half time, and then really go for the kill second half.
A former Port Vale player having an influence at Loftus Road, Jordan Hewell with the goal for QPR. QPR 1, Stoke 2. 1-0 to Port Vale here on BBC Radio Stoke, 9 until the break. Vale have played extremely well. Going forward, they've been crisp. Defensively, they've been switched on, having to deal with 8 Colchester corners. Colchester trying to come forward here, crossing the halfway line. Good work by Senior on the far side, but he won't get past Brisley. Brisley just watching that ball out to safety, and it's a throw in for Port Vale. They're not in any rush to take this. They'll run the clock down as much as they can, Port Vale, before the break. Accrington Stanley 1, Lincoln 1. Vale fans are dreaming, they're hoping. Their team currently 5th in the League 2 table as things stand. A lot of football to be played, not just this afternoon, but for the rest of the season. Things can change. Actually, they've dropped down to 7th because Bradford have taken the lead. Here's Conlon on this near side, looking to try and find some route forward. He's picked out Brown, who's found Joyce. Joyce clips the ball over the top. That'll be too long and run out for a goal kick. 1-0 to Port Vale. So the scoreline's in League 2 with Bradford taking the lead. Bradford 1-0 up away at Cambridge. It's 1-1 between Cheltenham and Leyton Orient. Crawley and Carlisle 0-0. Grimsby and Morecambe goalless. Macclesfield 0, Exeter 2. Mansfield 1, Newport 0. Oldham and Forest Green 0-0. Plymouth and Crewe 0-0. Stevenage and Salford is 1-0. 1-0 to Salford, and it's Walsall 0, Northampton Town 1. Latest scores in League 2 then. Goal kick taken by Dean Gherkin. QPR have got an equaliser. Ezzy. QPR 2, Stoke City 2. Michael O'Neill will be furious about that one. 2-0 up to be pegged back 2-2. Montano with a throw in front of the Colchester manager John McGreal. Waiting for an option. Gets a little run from Reece Brown. Game's just hit a little bit of a lull. Perhaps not got the zip about them that they had around 15 minutes or so ago. Here's Montano with the ball back at his feet, coming in from the touchline. There's a central position now, lovely reverse pass to Conlon, who finds Montano again. Ball just gets away from him. Nice play by Peel, skips away from the challenger Conlon, and then Leon Legg brings down Theo Robinson, and that probably is going to be a yellow card for Leon Legg, because it looked like he was the last man inside the centre circle. And as I've just said, it's 2-2 at Loftus Road between QPR and Stoke, and it's a yellow card for Leon Legg. So 3 cards dished out, and all to the black and white shirts at Port Vale. They're all harsh yellows, but he started as he means to go on, Chris Birchall. At least he's being consistent.
Yeah, you just felt, didn't you? I mean, there's much to do about nothing, but you just felt like he was going to give a foul and a yellow card against Leon Legg, and Vale have got to be cautious now. I mean, the last couple of games, Jesus, 2 red cards, I don't know how many yellows in the last one, and now 3 already. Disciplinary isn't too well, is it?
No, and I don't want listeners to actually think I agree with the referee, because I don't, because I think they're all particularly very soft yellow cards, but that is what he's decided to do. That's his standards, that's the benchmark he set himself as a referee this afternoon, and he's followed it through consistently. It's just that there hasn't been a decision yet to make on a Colchester United player, so we'll see what happens when there is, and then we'll find out the true levels of his consistency. Cullen wins the ball in the air ahead of Eastman. Eastman backpedals and knocks the ball back to his goalkeeper Gherkin. Gherkin with a clearance first time over the halfway line and headed away by Noodle into touch for a Port Vale throw. We are getting closer to the interval. We've got less than 5 minutes to go. Northampton have gone 2-0 up away at Walsall. Blackburn Rovers are 2-0 up as well away at Charlton Athletic in the Championship, as Montano now delivers a throw in field. Thought he was going to go down the line, just kind of outfoxed Colchester defence, came inside, got the ball back, played it over the top, and it's run through for the Colchester goalkeeper, who's in fluorescent green. You can see his shirt flapping around him, his torso, the wind cuts through behind him. A few supporters heading a little early for the refreshment stands. They'll be really pleased with what they've seen from the Port Vale team this afternoon. Cries from the Lawn Street, thinking there should have been a free kick on Conlon there, but not given by the referee. They'll push in the back of Brown there by Newell, as Montano has to do some defending by the corner flag. Colchester trying to find an equaliser before the break with 3.5 to go. Newell with a cross, good sliding block by Reece Brown, sees the ball out for corner number 9 for Colchester. And Vale soaking up this pressure like the pitch is soaking up the rain, but they still got to concentrate. That's what John Askey and Dave Kevin are saying out there right now on the edge of the technical area. In comes the delivery towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Good towering header by Leon Legg, away by Conlon. The referee waves play on as Colt Worrell is away on the far side. Good officiating at the moment. He'll pull play back, I'm sure, to deal with the situation. Worrell out to Joyce on the far side. Worrell goes down again. The referee this time blows the whistle, stops play, and he is going to deal with the situation, and he's calling across, I think, Stevenson, is it?
There could possibly be 2 there for Colchester. The first foul was definitely a yellow card on Conlon, just outside Vale's 18-yard box, and then Worrell runs inside about 35 yards out, he gets brought down. That's what the free kick's for now, and surely that should be a yellow as well.
Yeah, it is. The referee's got his card out. It's a yellow card for Ben Stevenson, and as you said, there should be a yellow card for Peel here as well, and it is. Well, you know what, agree or not with the yellow cards, he's been consistent, hasn't he, the referee?
You just knew what was going to happen though. It's like a script, isn't it? You just know that any kind of foul, the next foul that Colchester made, it was always going to be a yellow, and there they've got 2 in 1.
5 yellow cards in the first 43 minutes.
It hasn't been a dirty game at all,
It hasn't been, no, it hasn't been dirty. Given the conditions as well, I think the referee's being a little bit overly picky. Free kick for Port Vale on the right. Worrell with delivery, deep towards the far post. Legg with a header, cleared away by, I think, Eastman as it comes back in towards the penalty area. Falls to Joyce as it's cleared. Burgess to the left to Conlon. Conlon trying to get in towards the angle of the penalty area. He's still going, the goal scorer. Twist turns, brings in Brown. Brown, can he pull out a cross? He can. Block, corner for Port Vale.
I tell you what, every good thing that comes from Vale is coming from Conlon. I mean, he's fantastic, isn't he? On his day, you can see him playing at a very, very higher level than League Two. But great change of direction really quickly, and another corner for Vale. Must have been about 15 corners in this game.
12, yeah, not too far off. 3 for the Vale, 9 for Colchester. And Worrell's going to deliver this one in front of the Colchester supporters. It's at the near post and the goalkeeper gets down well. Grizzly with the header as it pops up in front of him, 6 yards out, and Gherkin gets down to his right for preventing it 2-0 just before the break. Another corner for Port Vale.
Whoever's had more than 15 corners on the coupon's doing well.
In comes the corner again. This time the goalkeeper punches, gets some distance on it, falls to Burgess, block. Now Joyce, 20 yards out from goal, out to the Vale right. Conlon with the delivery, deep one headed away by a blue shirt, unchallenged. And We're close to the 45 minutes are up here as the rain starts to come in again. Here's Pell on the edge of the centre circle, out to the left, feeds the ball out for Newble, but it's too strong, and out for a throw into Port Vale. And by my watch, that is the 45 minutes. We've got 1 minute of time added on. Don't do anything stupid here now from this throw. Run the clock down as long as you possibly can. Get into the dressing room, get your half-time orange and cup of tea, and look at what you've done right in that first half and carry it on in the second half, because John Askey is going to be a very happy man. I think he'll be even happier had he had seen Christian Montano's curling effort find the top left-hand corner. Cullen wins the ball, back to Smith. Ball out for a throw-in on the halfway line as Colchester put in a block on the far side. 20 seconds to go of first half of time added on here at Vale Park. BBC Radio Stoke Sport. Matt Sandoz and Chris Birchall, and Storm Dennis, something that a lot of people will have not been happy about to come and sit and watch football in, but they'll certainly be happy with what they've seen from Port Vale this afternoon as the throw-in comes in, cleared by Colchester. Another throw, and there goes the half-time whistle. Nathan Smith with a throw on this near side as he dances towards the byline, puts it across at the near post, and that was Colin waiting, and it's just taken away from his toes and out for a corner, fifth corner for Port Vale. Good start to the second half inside the first 60 seconds, and Vale have got some pressure here on the visitors. Conlon's going to take it in front of the Lawn Street with his left foot, waiting for some movement. The ball will hang in the air due to the wind. It's in towards the near post, and that's an easy clearance by Colchester at the front stick, and headed further along. Rhys Brown with a header back towards the edge of the penalty area. Conlon can't quite get the ball under control. Welcome back on BBC Radio Stoke. The second half started here, and Vale had a corner which has been cleared. No changes for either side, and Colchester just having to defend here on the edge of their own penalty area, but a good positive start from John Askey's side as the ball is hit long, and Vale have got a bit of defending to do here as the ball breaks for Robinson. He's got away from his man and doesn't get away from Montano a second time. Montano does well, forces the ball back off Robinson and out for a goal kick. So certainly again just a little warning shot for Port Vale to say pressure, but it only takes a second for the visitors to go up and cause a problem or two.
Yeah, Vale get off to a really good start in the first minute. Corner, come in, and then as you said, just that little threat over the top. Now the ball will hold up. Theo Robinson is quick, but really good defender from Montano, and he tried to get the opportunity to knock it out of his feet and hit the shot. Good defending.
Eastman with a header, won by Burgess as he nods it forward, looking for the run of Cullen. Vale going from left to right as we look at it on BBC Radio Stoke Sport. Blue shirts, blue shorts, blue socks is the kit of Colchester, and they are attacking their own supporters that are housed in the Hamel Road end away to our left. Here is Peel, who is on a yellow card, one of 5 players out there at the moment. They're on yellow cards, 3 for the Vale, Leon Legg, Sean Brisley and Luke Joyce, 2 for Colchester, Harry Pell and Ben Stevenson. And it is Ben Stevenson and Harry Pell that link up in the centre circle and move the ball out to the right for Comley. Comley now with some support from Jackson. He's got Brown in front of him. Jackson takes him on, heads towards the byline, and he tries to dig out across, and it's a good sliding challenge by Rhys Brown. He puts it out for a corner. Corner number 10. 15 corners we've had in this match so far. 3 minutes of the second half gone on BBC Radio Stoke. No changes for either side. As I said, Scott Brown, Nathan Smith, Leon Legg, Sean Brisley, Montano, Joyce, Burgess, Conlon, Brown, Cullen and Worrell is the Vale team. On the bench, Oyaliki, Atkinson, Evans, Bennett, Lloyd, Campbell, Gordon and Madison as the corner comes in. Cleared, backing by Colchester towards the edge of the penalty area. Conlon gets it away. Burgess will chase this up towards the halfway line, as will Jackson. Jackson back to Gherkin. Gherkin plays it out along the ground to Jackson. Jackson back to Gherkin. Goalkeeper getting himself in a bit of a pickle there.
Hey, I was waiting for that one to come today. I was going to try and fit it in myself somewhere.
Ball out to the right to Worrell. Heads it down. Nice little head down to Smith, to Joyce. Joyce trying to play it in between the full-back and centre half. Just not quite enough on it to get past Bramall. The goalkeeper clears up towards the halfway line. Joyce heads it forward. Cullen will bring it under control. Nice touch from him. Finds Brown to Cullen. Tries to release the run of Montano down the left. So there is Prosser, former Vale trainee, to map up and go back to his goalkeeper. 4.5 gone. 1-0 Port Vale lead on BBC Radio Stoke. Matt Sandos, former Port Vale midfielder Chris Birchall. Here's Conlon again. Good play by Brown. Brown getting the cross in that's blocked, and it's another corner for Port Vale. So corner number 6 now.
It's crazy, isn't it? I think average one every 3 minutes is a corner.
That's 16 corners.
48 minutes.
Yeah, 50. Get your calculator out. I don't think I've seen a game with this many corners in at this stage of a match. Rain driving in, coming from across the top of the Hamel Road end, and you can see the flag by David Worrell preparing to take this corner, bending and blowing as the corner swings into leg at the far post, and he gets his head down. Goalkeeper had it covered, I think, just dived as a precaution to make sure the ball went wide of the upright. It's out for a goal kick, but good delivery, and Leon Legg getting up well there. 1-0 Port Vale lead on BBC Radio Stoke. And Dean Gherkin will just dig out a little hole on the edge of the 6-yard box so he can keep this ball still, keep it in place as he prepares to take this goal kick. Vale on course to extend their unbeaten league run to 5 games and see themselves in the playoff places. John Askey on the edge of his technical area. That's where he usually stands, that's where he wants to be, that's where he can be visually seen by his team, he can be heard as well. He's pointing instructions now out on the edge of that technical area to I think it was Conlon. Conlon picks up the header and clearance from Colchester, finds Brown, back to Conlon. Burgess, ball just getting tangled in his feet, he's managed to get it away. Cullen inside the penalty area, just can't quite find a teammate or get the shot away, and Colchester clear up towards the halfway line. But Vale again looking threatening, looking dangerous. They're moving the ball around, they're nimble in attack, they're sharp, they're concise, and given the conditions they deserve a lot of credit for that, Chris Birchall.
They do, they look a threat in the middle of the field with the midfield 4 intertwining and short little passes, looking dangerous, and the back 4 just look solid, don't they? I know we've got Nathan Smith playing right back, but at the end of the day it's still defending, still what he does best, and hasn't really been given a threat where he's been run down the line apart from the first couple of minutes of the match. But Vale back 4 on top, really.
Scott Brown will clear a free kick midway inside the Vale half. It's long, and you can see the wind behind Scott Brown helps with that clearance. Colchester sitting deeper in this second half, having to deal with the conditions. Vale dealt with them very well. Colchester now coming forward down the Vale right. Nathan Smith, makeshift right back, battling here with Bramall, who puts in the cross, cleared by Legg, and out for a throw to Colchester. On this near side, about 15 yards from the corner flag on the Colchester left. The referee is just stopping things here for a substitution, and we're going to see Poku come on for Courtney Senior. Juan Poku on for Courtney Senior. And here he is now, Poku, number 49. Vale force the ball back into the Colchester half. Rain falls a little heavier here in Burslem. Out to the right to Jackson for Colchester. Forward ball just 5 yards or so inside the Port Vale half. He finds Pell inside the centre circle, being tracked by Conlon. Pell gets the ball caught up in his feet but manages to get it out and find Bramall. Bramall in field, gives the ball away to Burgess. Burgess now calmly strokes it out to the right to Worrell. Worrell being forced under pressure here from Bramall. Delivers a ball forward, the flag stays down. Cullen to make it 2-0. Mark Cullen has made it 2-0. Absolutely clinical finish from Mark Cullen, his 6th goal of the season. Beat the offside trap, kept his composure and took the ball beyond Dean Gherkin and really put Vale in the driving seat for 3 points and to finish the afternoon in the playoff places. What a good start to the second half. Mark Cullen with the goal. Port Vale 2, Colchester 0.
Well, it's been cat and mouse with Bramall and Worrell all day. Worrell been really honest in defending and trying to get back, but this time it was Worrell who broke. Bramall got back, he croiked inside and then put with the outside of his right foot, kind of like a 30-yard crossfield ball. Defender came, Eastman came, realised that the wind had got it, took it over his head and Cullen was there. Cullen's run was brilliant, it was in line. He found himself one-on-one, keeper come out, and he's just dinked him. What a brilliant finish, 2-0, fantastic from Vale.
Excellent, and now that really is going to have to see Colchester push out a little bit here, and the game is going to really open up. Vale 2-0 up, and as things stand, comfortable and in cruise control. And Harry Pickering has just put Crewe 1-0 up away at Plymouth Argyle as well. So Crewe, as things stand, top of the table. Here's Comley to Eastman. Joyce has won it back. Burgess racing Worrell. Bramall's having to race back and defend, but Worrell unable to keep the ball in play, and it's out for a throw-in on this near side in front of the Lawn Street. So as things stand, Crewe Alexandra 64 points, top of the table. Port Vale 7th on the table, 2 points ahead of Cheltenham in 8th. Well, if things continue like this, the interview with John Askey at the end is going to be very interesting. He doesn't give an awful lot away, but he's got to be able to afford himself a little smile with the result and the performance as things stand. His team have been excellent so far, and he will hope they won't let him down for the remainder of the match. Because Port Vale have got their tails up this afternoon. Bramall pushes and runs to Poku, the substitute. He's dispossessed by Smith. Worrell chips a high ball forward looking for Cullen, who does well, rises and leaps high against Prosser, heads it down. Burgess just unable to get on the end of it. Peel fires it in towards the feet of Newell. Newell turns. He's got 2 white shirts around him. Vale are not wanting to let this go this afternoon. Montano stands firm and says, try and get past if you can, and then Vale play themselves out of trouble. There's a confidence about Port Vale at the moment, and Nathan Smith puts his head in where it hurts, and he should have carried on there. The referee blew the whistle a little early, but it's a free kick for Port Vale. But there's a swagger, there's a belief in this Vale team, Chris Birchall.
There is, and everyone playing is good on the ball. It's not as if Vale carry anyone and you feel like, oh, when they get on the ball, all they're going to do is knock it up or play a long ball. They're really, really confident on it, and they play some really good stuff.
Port Vale have only lost once at home in the league this season. This place is really becoming a fortress, and Vale are owning it at home. In comes the cross, looking for Cullen from Worrell at the near post, headed away by Colchester, only as far as Joyce. He leaves it for Conlon. Conlon looks up, finds Burgess. Burgess trying to turn his man, does well, gets the ball out of his feet, finds Worrell, but the referee blows his whistle for a free kick and a foul by Conley, and Vale have a chance here from about 30 yards out, right of centre. Vale fans want a third, and why not? Barnsley 2-0 up away at Fulham at Craven Cottage. Oh, I thought that one. Fulham gunning for automatic promotion. Barnsley struggling down at the bottom end of the table. Free kick taken quickly for Cullen for 3-0. Shoots blocked and cleared by Colchester. But very good football by Port Vale, very quickly taken, and an obvious training ground move, which all for the sliding challenge would have perhaps seen Vale go 3-0 up there. Nathan Smith battling at right back to win the ball. Puts it out for a throw-in. Cullen has got a bit between the teeth here.
Yeah, and any time that I've seen him play, Matt, to be honest, he's been really, really good. For a player who's playing there up on his own, you need someone who can hold the ball up. We've been so used to Pope doing that, but for a little guy, Cullen does it so well.
Well, coming forward again, this time the attack breaks down. Colchester look rattled, to say the least. Burgess floored on the far side, wins a free kick. And we're going to see another change for Colchester. It's going to be the number 9 that's coming on, Luke Norris. And we'll see who's going to come off here. They've got to go for it, Colchester, 2-0 down. It's going to be Comley who's coming off, midfielder Comley. They're bringing off a defensive midfielder for a striker. So Norris on. He's got 10 goals this season, Luke Norris. So he'll go and partner Theo Robinson, who's got 12 goals. Vale 2-0 up on BBC Radio Stoke, quarter of an hour of the second half gone, half an hour remaining, and the rain teeming down here. And a gloomy, stormy day in Burslem. But Vale have been playing like they've been out in the sunshine as Worrell puts in a cross on the right, blocked by Colchester, out for a throw. Storm Dennis has certainly not got in the way of Port Vale's playoff plans this afternoon. John Askey and Dave Kevin inside the technical area looking on. Dave Kevin's gone to get the big coat on, rain dripping off the coattails of both manager and assistant manager. Joyce to Smith. Smith trying to be nimble on this near side. Bit of wing wizardry, has a wry smile as he gets up off the ground as the ball goes out for a throw-in, which he's about to take himself. Finds Cullen. Plymouth have got an equaliser, 1-1 now as Burgess tries to go for goal. Challenge by Colchester. Brown in for 3-0, puts it over the crossbar on a tight angle, and Montano wanted it pulled back, as did Burgess, but Brown only had one thing on his mind, and that was trying to find the back of the net. Goalkeeper came out, made it difficult. The angle was difficult, Chris.
Yeah, it was. It was a good run from Brown. Conlon found him, dinked it over the right back, straight into Brown's path. We tried to kind of dink it over the keeper. It was too far. Dinked it over the bar, but it was another good move from Vale. And at the moment, you just can't see Colchester getting back into it. It's the most comfortable I've probably seen them in a long time.
You do feel if there's another goal, it is going to come for Port Vale. They are pressing here for a third. Goal kick taken by Dean Gherkin, out for a Vale throw in front of John Askey. Vale more than happy just to allow the ball boy to fetch this ball from the perimeter trap. They're in no rush to get things hurried along here. They will run the clock down as often as they can in this second half. 17 minutes gone, 2-0 to Port Vale. Conlon in the 14th minute, Cullen in the 55th. And Colchester in possession inside their own half with the left back Bramall. Looks up, drives the ball high. Brisley underneath it. So's Norris. Brisley puts it out for a Colchester throw. Bramall will take it. Colchester just look devoid of ideas at the moment. Vale look full of spirits as Pell has it in the centre circle to Eastman. Stand up if you love Port Vale now, being chanted around Vale Park. Railway Paddock on the feet. Bycars, Lawn Street, all rise as one as Vale defend here with Reece Brown. Does well, back to Leg with a clearance up towards the halfway line, but it bounces out of play for a throw-in. And the referee just saying where he wants the throw to be taken from. It's as good as a home performance I think I've seen from Port Vale this season against a good Colchester side. And they put the cross in. Chance here for Norris, who whips his shot wide. But again, just another bit of a warning for Port Vale to say that this game certainly isn't finished at 2-0. A goal for Colchester would give them a little bit of belief, and Luke Norris, who's got 10 goals this season, will probably think he should have done a little bit better as the ball came across his right foot, whips the shot wide of the goalkeeper's left hand upright, and it's a goal kick for Port Vale.
Credit to Vale, I mean, credit to them all season at home really. We've seen so many teams come, top teams, and we've all said the same at the end of the game. Oh, they didn't perform today, or they've had an off day, but it's due to the way Vale play. I mean, they play so in your face at home and just go for you and attack and high press that it's nice to watch. That's what you want from your home team, and kind of setting out that authority that this is our ground, this is our fortress, and we're not going to lose, and we're going to come at you, and if we do lose, it won't be for the lack of trying. And you can see when they've lost one all season at home and putting performances in like this, I mean, that's why fans go away happy.
Well, it's good attendance today as well from Vale supporters. We haven't had official confirmation of that, but I think it's, if you're a season ticket holder, you can bring a mate for half price, and so I would have thought one or two certainly would have taken advantage of that offer. Rotherham 1, Wimbledon 1, Southend 0, Coventry 1, Cardiff 2, Wigan 2. 1-1 between Plymouth and Crewe, 2-2 between QPR and Stoke. Brown, Joyce, back to Brown, far touchline. Cullen, back to goal midway inside the Colchester half. To Conlon, who just tries to chip the ball forward for the run of Brown. Too much on it, too much pace on the ball. It's gathered by Gherkin in the Colchester goal. Forward now by the visitors up towards the halfway line, held up by Newbold. Dispossessed by Smith though. Newbold pushes Worrell in the back, referee says get on with it. Newbold has it, I think that might be a nutmegs on Smith. Smith blocks him off, goes down, and it's a free kick though for obstruction by Nathan Smith on Frank Newbold, and a free kick for Colchester, which they've taken. Forward ball now, Montano deals with it well, heads it down to Brown. Those two have linked up very well on that Vale left. Montano now with a bit of grass to run into. He's done well, he's broke away from his man. Cullen's down the centre, so's Burgess. Poor delivery from Montano. Did all the hard work, creating the space, and then when it mattered, just put too much on the ball, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
Yeah, we'll give him that one, won't we? He's worked hard all day, but like you said, when you work that hard, you run 30-40 yards up the pitch, you just expect a little bit of a better delivery, but unlucky. He's played well today though.
Derby 1-0 up. Huddersfield. They'll have a throw in 10 yards inside their own half. They're going from left to right as we look at it, towards the back end of the ground here. And John Askey now looking on, getting absolutely drenched and soaked to the bone, but he will not care, because he will have a lovely warm hot. Askey's a sort of a bath bomb man as well, I'd have thought.
I haven't really thought of him like that, to be honest.
You know, I'm sure he is. He'll be there, thinking about today's performance with a big smile on his face, because so far it has been excellent. Vale leading by 2-0, and very good value for it. Dave Kevin, tap end.
Definitely. Maybe they share, you don't know.
You do, that's what I mean. Throw in for Vale, level with the edge of the Colchester penalty area. Montano takes it, gets a little run from Burgess, creates the space, back to Montano. Now Brown, he looks up, puts it across towards the far post. Worrell was there, but so was Bramwell, who gets it away. Joyce comes in late to win the header, but the flag is up for an offside on Cullen, and they will have a free kick here. Colchester. Portsmouth 1, Shrewsbury 0. A latest score on BBC Radio Stoke. 23 minutes gone of the second half, and I think even the crowd is starting to relax a little bit and enjoy it. When you start singing Stand Up If You Love Port Vale, and you can sit back in your seat comfortable, you know that your team has been in the driving seat this afternoon and thoroughly bossed the game. Yes, okay, they've had to defend a lot of corners, but they've never really been troubled by those set pieces. And Vale have looked more threatening going forward than Colchester have at the other end. And David Worrell has defended from the front very well there, keeping the pressure up, sliding the ball from going out for a goal kick for for a throw into Colchester. So now David Worrell says to his teammates, come on, let's move up the pitch, let's squeeze. Our fans a little bit picky and moany that throw was taken maybe 4 yards from where it should have done. I don't think it really matters really, because they've penned in Nathan Smith with a good challenge, and then there's a little knee into his back off the ball from Pell. Scott Burgess doesn't like it, gives him a push. Everyone's got to be careful here. Harry Pell on a yellow card. The referee was right on the spot to watch what was going on here. It was a little bit unnecessary from Harry Pell. He left a little bit of something in there on Nathan Smith.
I just feel like if he gets sent off now, it's blatantly because of Vale's reaction to it, and everyone coming around the ball and the referee and trying to make him make a decision. For me, like you said, Nathan was on the floor. He put a great tackle in, hard tackle, but he nudged him with his leg, but it's not a yellow card.
Well, the referee's having a word with Luke Prosser, the captain, here over this, and he's talking to his assistant as well. Certainly Scott Burgess has been pulled across as well. I think his reaction was probably worse than the offence. Scott Burgess is going to get a yellow card here for the way that he's reacted, and you'll hear the boo once that's been acknowledged by the crowd. So yellow card for Scott Burgess, the 4th Port Vale player to get into the referee's book. And John Askey is just having a word with the 4th official as to say, well, you know, kind of what happened before that led to that? Surely does that need addressing? The referee's not addressed it. He's just had a word with Luke Prosser, the captain, to say, look, get everyone calm down. Bolton 0, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Ipswich 4, Burton 1, Macclesfield 2, Exeter 2, and Grimsby 1, Morecambe 0. All out bounces inside Port Vale's technical area. 2-0 to Port Vale on BBC Radio Stoke. 25.5 minutes of the second half gone. Still plenty of time in this game for another Port Vale goal or two. Worrell with the throw down the line, looking for Smith, over his head, cleared by Colchester, blocked by Worrell, throwing for the visitors. Bramwell goes to collect it, inches up the touchline. Worrell with a header back towards the throw-in taker. Conlon picks up a loose ball, plants a long one down the touchline, and Cullen just knocks it out for a throw-in for Colchester a couple of yards from the corner flag. Well, at the moment, Colchester aren't posing any problems to Port Vale. And that's the dominance of Port Vale this afternoon.
I mean, before the game, we thought that Vale were capable of winning, even with the...
Here's Cullen on the edge of the penalty area, curls a shot, and he scored! Wonderful goal from Mark Cullen, and that is the 3 points wrapped up for Port Vale. Fantastic finish from the edge of the area, left foot drive along the ground, hits the post, back in the net, and Vale lead by 3 goals to 0. And it is looking like the playoffs are certainly there to celebrate this evening for Port Vale. Port Vale 3, Colchester 0.
Well, it's nothing short of what Vale deserved today. They've been absolutely wonderful to watch, and that man up front, Cullen, he got his first goal with a dink over the keeper, which was cool. This time he was outside the 18-yard box, running onto it with his left foot. He's just cooled it right round the keeper. I don't know if it hit the post and went in, but it was a cool placement into the back of the net. And it's 3-0, and like I said, Vale deserve everything, because Colchester, for being 5th in the league, really, Vale having injuries and suspensions, they should have brought more to the game. They haven't, but that's credit to what Vale have done today, and Vale fully deserve a 3-0 lead.
Just 18 minutes of this game, Vale 3-0 up, barring an absolute disaster. Vale are getting 3 points, and everybody is going to be very happy tonight who follow the black and whites of Port Vale. 7th in the table as things stand, and we'll keep an eye on that one. But John Askey must be delighted. Colchester were 5th before today's game. They are now down to 9th as things stand. Mark Cullen with his 2nd of the game, and now E-I-E-I, believe we go, we are hearing. They've been wanting to sing it all season. They've been wanting to sing it for the last few weeks. They've held back, but now they dare to dream.
I can assure you that Askey will be the one playing this down. He just wants to be under the radar, just the interview will be at the end of the game. Take game by game. Yes, they're playing well, but they're playing really, really well.
Well, Port Vale fans will, I'm sure, be pleased to hear this scoreline as well. Stoke fans won't be. 2-0 up Stoke were in the first half. They're trailing 3-2 at QPR. Praise and grumble on the full-time whistle. Vale fans 0800 121 80 80. Have a chat with Lee Blakeman about your team's performance today. As Montano clears in towards the Colchester half. Colchester's heads have dropped. The body language doesn't look good. They're not only battling Port Vale, they're having to battle the conditions. I think they want the full-time whistle just to come and go and then get back on the coach down to Colchester. I think Vale in this sort of form could play all night. I think they'd be happy to play all night.
Yeah, well, it's important with the goal difference as well, because at the moment they're only 2 goals behind Bradford, who are sitting in 6th. So that's how close it is. Everyone's on the same points. I mean, at the moment it's Bradford and Vale, and then Northampton just above them, a point clear. Goal difference could be a right key at the end of the season.
Well, they have made another change. Luke Gambin has come on for Colchester. I didn't see who'd gone off in the goal celebration and when the change was made, but they've made their 3rd and final change as Nathan Smith goes sprawling onto the red draw around the edge of the Port Vale pitch. Now he'll certainly feel that one because he slid across the pitch with the wet conditions here, carried on all the way across onto the perimeter track.
He does that at home anyway.
Well, Plymouth have just taken a 2-1 lead now against Crewe from the penalty spot. Crewe were 1-0 up, 2-1 down now. It's the former Crewe player, Anthony Sarcevic, that has put Plymouth in front. Ball with Gherkin on the edge of the Colchester penalty area. 15 minutes to go. On BBC Radio, Stoke Vale leading by 3 goals to 0. Montano just playing a risky ball across the edge of his own penalty area. But there's Sean Brisley to hack it clear. There's a little slip by Crosser on the halfway line. The fans appealing for a handball. Not quite sure that was the case. I think he just slipped. As Eastman has it. Plays a high ball forward. Flag goes up. As Robinson attempted to get on the end of it. And it is a free kick for Port Vale. Again, they're not in any rush to take this free kick. So let's have a look at the scores then. Elsewhere in League 2 at the moment, as things stand. Cambridge 0, Bradford 1. Cheltenham 1, Leyton Orient 1. Crawley 0, Carlisle 0. Grimsby 1, Morecambe 0. Macclesfield 2, Exeter 2. Mansfield 1, Newport 0. Oldham 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. That's a good scoreline for Vale. Plymouth 2, Crewe 1, Port Vale 3, Colchester 0, Stevenage 0, Salford 1 and Walsall 1, Northampton 2. Luke Norris trying to hold on to the ball. Back it goes to Gherkin, charged down by Reece Brown. And just to get it away from him though. And Colchester have it inside their own half. There's a hush now around Vale Park because Vale fans feel extremely comfortable as Colchester play an aimless ball forward, and Scott Brown, who has got to be feeling the cold. Scott Brown, he's had nothing to do in this second half.
And that's how dominant Vale's defence has been. They haven't let anything through. But how big and strong and powerful the Colchester side are, been so solid at the back and been just as prolific up front.
Scott Brown puts his arm in the air because he does one of the rare things that he's had to do in this second half is clear the ball forward, and he did there out of his gloves, bounced a couple of times and straight out of play because of the strong wind that he's got behind him at the moment. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Reading 2, and Bristol Rovers 1, Blackpool 1. Goal kick for Colchester. 3-0 Port Vale lead. Matt Sandoz and Chris Birchall, your commentary team on BBC Radio Stoke this afternoon. Don't forget Richard Serling and Northern Soul on the way after 6 if you like your Northern Soul Motown music. They'll get you going on your Saturday night tonight, Richard. Then from 8 o'clock, Rob Adcock with BBC introducing, looking at the new music from around North Staffordshire and South Cheshire. That'll continue on from Richard Serling and keep your Saturday night looking lively as Vale put the ball out for a Colchester throw on this near side. Midway inside the Vale half on the Vale right. 3-0 to Port Vale. Bramall plays the ball out, continues his run in field. Then it's taken away from him by Brisley.
Let's